be live now. Right. Right then. What's going on, champs? Hope you guys doing well. Apologies for actually coming on the show late. I've just had something come up, so I'm gonna speed up through this a little bit quicker than usual, and then I'm gonna have to head out quite soon, as soon as possible. So, without further ado, no bullshit. This is a no bullshit stream. We're gonna go straight into it as well. Only because something's come up, but as a man of my word, I'm going to be consistent and be here to actually, draw out the plans. We have NFP today, or NFE, non-farm payroll, non-farm employment. I use NFP. It's the same situation, same shit anyway. Mm. That's coming today. There's unemployment rates in the UK. Let's bring this up. Let's bring up the scene. Let's have a look what we got here. So on Friday, what we got today, unemployment change in for the Canadian for the Canadians, unemployment rates. The average hourly earnings coming out today at 130, non-farm employment change, and unemployment rate for the Americans as well. So that's going to be a key factor. So we're going to we look at some possible trades there. What I would recommend, as always, is to actually don't take the trade anytime soon. Now, we've got what time's it now? It's about 10:30. So we've got about 3 hours before volatility kicks in. So just take it easy. Let the volatility happen. We don't even know what's going to happen. So just let's go and have a look at what what dollar index is doing. Dollar index is still in that range. We're broken out that range yesterday itself. The question is, right, if we come up here, hold above here, then we look to play into the mid range as a retest itself, and that will actually drop the stocks, and it will also drop the crypto market as well as a pullback itself. So not a big deal there. I mean, as this was dropping down yesterday, you expect BTC to start pushing up, but in actual fact, it wasn't doing that. Even ES was doing the same thing. It was pushing down. It's kind of grinding itself down. It is the monthly open as well, so we gotta be a bit cautious how this works out there. So we don't know what's going to happen there. I would have preferred it to actually push up, right? Push up, and that will create the wick of the month. And once we get back below the monthly open, whichever the monthly open is around here, right? The monthly opens around here. I would prefer a wick here. Then we have a body go down. Right now, what we're doing is we're making the body go down. So we're gonna have a bit of volatility. Will it go up like this and then come back up and come down? We don't fucking know. So if I were to look at it this way, all I gotta see is I want to see like I said, the plan is if we get back above this SR on the 15 minutes, on the 1 hour, hold above it, and then spike up into this range low here, and that'll be the retest. Or is it a deviation? If it's a deviation, we step back in, we play back into the range. If it's a retest, we play back down, back into this target there. Once we lose this low here, this is your confirmation. Off we go. Let's go a lot more lower. How low can we go? Let's have a look. Well, it looks like we're coming into these areas of support right now. Right? Let me just show you. So this high here, that's the pivot there. And you can see that's where the target's looking about. It's 103.92 ish. That's where it's looking to go into. Once we get back below here, then let's send it back down to 100.3, I believe this is 100.373. Yeah, let's call it 100.4, and then we'll see what happens after. We don't fucking know what's gonna happen, but it is looking like it's crashing though. If you look at it this way, it's definitely look like it's gonna crash down. I mean, like if I were to do this, right, that's clear as daylight. We're coming back down at least into this base of consolidation here. This area here was the base of consolidation. We started the leg up right up here. So once we broke out of these highs there, so once we broke out this high there, breaking market structure, this low holds over here. We start grinding up. Once we broke out of it, then push up. We started doing some consolidation. This is the base of the consolidation, I would say. I mean, you can use this one, but to front run it all, I say this one, this focus there, and that comes in to about 99.5, right? So we got 100.3, which is about here, around here. This is where 100.3 is. 100.4 is up around these highs there. So the 100.4 level is around about here. That's where that's the key level there. It's a major consolidation. I'll show you to the second. And what we'll do, come back down, maybe spike into it, hold on to it. Once we get back up, then we push back up into the dollar index. So then we have more downsides here, which is perfectly fine, which we're anticipating itself. So it's just how the stocks actually play and how crypto plays. The range band I was talking about was literally this. If I show you on the quarterly, right? It's a quarterly range itself, and all I've done is pick out from this high, and this was a range I did this back in like 2019, from this high to this low here, and you can see this is consolidation over here, support resistance, support and resistance between both sides, deviation, deviation, resistance, deviation, and if you look at it this way, we actually held into this area right over there, bounce off that, hold it into there, close above it, and we start rallying up there. So that was the consolidation that we bounced off. We played it up higher. So now all it's doing now on the quarter, it looks fucking mad though, innit? It's a mad quarter. Lower highs you can see as well. It makes sense to at least come back to a bare minimum target into here, which is what 103.73. That's the very minimum targets. The secondary targets would be there 102.9 off these highs itself, and then we'll go to 100.39. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, should give us some breathing space in terms of crypto itself. So we'll see what happens. And stocks. ES, what's happening with ES? ES, ES, we're still within the 2021's range. I mean, that's just going on for fucking over a year now. We're just pushing up. We're stuck within the monthly candle of September's range as well. It is the monthly open there. So what you do is mark out the monthly open. Let's go on the daily itself. You mark out the monthly open. Let's have a look here. So what we got here. Let's just talk about the price itself. Let's just focus on September's range. Sorry guys, before I carry on, I'm so trying to speed up quickly. I forgot to actually be, and that was rude of me to actually not even say good morning to you guys. Morning to you guys. Hope you guys well. Let's do the morning shout out. We got Derry, Daink Country Club, Skinface, my bro. Gandalf in the house, Justin, Bomb Biggie. We got Starsky. What's going on, my bro? Hope you guys having a good Friday as well, man. Jumma Mubarak as well, and happy Friday. We got Burn in the house. We got Bomb Biggie, Rustelin, John Caboose. We got Dev. Who else we got? Let me just upload this again. Smash the likes as well, man. Yeah, and Mr. M's in the house, and Thomas as well. How you doing, my brother? GP, SB, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys doing well, man. 10 minutes in, let's just squeeze this in. Finish this off. Cup of water, and we'll talk about ES, okay? It's always good to go through ES and dollar index, just to give us the consensus of what's going on. So when we start focusing about Bitcoin, at least we know what the fuck's going on with Bitcoin. So ES, what's interesting about these this motherfucker right here in particular, right? Let me just highlight these and then just close everything off. So we've got the mid range, range low, and range high. That's all it is, okay? September's range. I'm going to delete everything off and keep it nice and clean, okay? What you can see is that when we made September's low, right? This low here, right? We did a stop run. Stop run, came back up, found support over here, right? Off the range low of September's low. We start running to mid-range. From the mid-range, we come back down to a bit of a deviation. We have a pullback. Where do we have a pullback, right? The pullback comes into this area here. Let me just highlight this. The pullback comes right over here, okay? Find support, stop loss over here, play it back up to mid-range. Mid-range, we're trying to push it back up to range high. So that's what we're looking for. We're above the mid-range, right? You know, like this was a gap. We're filling the gap right here from this candle there. Does it come back down to the mid-range? We don't know. The magnet in price is at range high. So if I were to look at it as a range bound environment, what would I be looking for? I would say, wait, I've got this. Yeah, it was this candle. So the range bound environment is here, right? So it's this particular area here. You can see quite clearly is that consolidation over here, deviation. We've got resistance, support. All this is support, right? So this is a key area of consolidation that happened here for about 2-3 weeks itself, and we had a push-up break in market structure. I know we're gonna come back down in price. I'm looking for a pullback in price. The 75% of the range comes in about, I think it's around here. I believe there. Yeah, bang on, man, bro. Like the fucking surgical hands in it. That's what it is. So that's the 75% of the range. I can see price pulling back into here as a minimum target. Play back down. See if we come back into this range here. Maybe we might squeeze back into these highs there. Squeeze back into these highs. If it does and holds above it, bullish market structure above the 75%, that's your confirmation play back up to range high. Now that's on the daily. Now if I were to narrow this down and show you, oh yeah, sorry, let me bring this back up. So another key thing I want to talk about is that we've taken out the lows of September, right? Now the liquidity is up here. That's what we're looking for, this liquidity. That's what we want to hunt And that's all we want to do, right? After there, we don't know what happens next, right? Do we go a bit higher? We'll figure out when the time comes. We do have 42.25, which is the 2021 mid-range coming in place. I did speak about a potential play of actually coming back into this particular area over here, right? So whether we come back up and spike into this, do something like that, spike into it, Fed pivot, they're like, yeah, this is the Fed pivot, you know the short is, stop loss, hard stop there, play it back down, back to mid-range, back to range low, and then we nuke the market as it comes, but we'll see what happens there. So in the meantime, if we're going to have a push up in the price, how do we play this, right? So right now, oops, we've got NFP coming up, so I'm going to, I'd rather keep a close eye on the market itself rather than actually taking a trade itself. There's no need for me to take a trade. Now, where is price getting capped at? Off this low here, right? This is where it's getting capped at right there. Can you see? So do we get a push up right there for NFP? And then something like this, break down. We can play it back down into these lows over here as a quick scalp play. A little mini day trade. Once we get back below here, find bearish market structure, play it back down to the 75% range and squeeze it into filling out these inefficiency into the range high. That's what I want to look for. I don't really care what happens next. I'll be taking profits on ES on that one as well. If we come back into the range, we play it back in the range band, looking around the mid range. Want to see this being thingy hold the mid range, play back up, like I said, 75% range, play it back up higher. That's what it is with ES. BTC, what's going on with BTC dominance? Have a look at it. We're climbing up on BTC dominance, climbing up. So it's looking like it's bullish market structure there. You can see low, high, high, low, high, high, low. As long as this low holds, I think we're good to go. We could get a pullback into this particular area right about here, right around. Fuck off. So about there we go. Into this area here, into this consolidation there, and if it does hold into there, reclaims and hold above it, I think BTC dominance starts to increase, and I believe the price of Bitcoin can drop as well. So a bit tricky. Talking about Bitcoin though, Bitcoin, like, this is why I wasn't in a rush yesterday to actually looking for longs. There's no need for me to look for longs. I discussed this yesterday. We got the area in blue. This is the area consolidation. Okay, that's where you got capped. We did a stop run there. We shoot back down. Got below the monthly open. Bearish as fuck as well, because below the monthly open is bearish, above the monthly open is bullish, and we're back within this range here. This is 2 weeks ago's range high and the range low. That's all it is. Okay, nothing else, nothing too complicated. We had a deviation. So we took out the liquidity at the downside, taking out liquidity on the upside. That's it. Now we're back into the range. What happens now? I don't really know. I think if we can, there's 2 areas of support that I'm looking for, right? The key areas I'm looking for. Number 1 is here, the mid range, within this range here. Fill out the inefficiency, and the second one is the range low. So how would I plan this going forward? We all are anticipating, oh yeah, it's good for like Feds are actually reducing the rates, they're slowing down the rates and whatnot. What are you saying, CDMs? How you doing, man, bro? Can you just nuke or pump the market? You know what? After Friday, after today, after NFP, I think it becomes a bit more clear what's going on there. So let's just say right now let's just say we've got this, right? So you see this particular area here. Let me just mark the lows, right? So you got this low here from the area consolidation, and we got this low here. These are the 2 areas that I'm looking at as resistance, right? So this price come up into here, spikes up into NFP, right? Breaks down. Once we let it calm down, once it gets back below here, this is your confirmation, right? Play it back down to 75% range. Once we get back below the 75% range, squeeze it back down into the range low. Once we take out these lows there, something like this. Something like this, right? If we do this, come back down, get resistance, play it back down, further down, into these areas here. That's target 1, and then that'll be target 2 there, and that's it. And that's the range, and that's the mid range. That's the first set I want to see. I want to see how we get. If we get, let me just draw that properly, because I don't like that fucking wonky line. Not surgical hands there. If I get this like that, gets down, comes back down to this area here, back into last week's Monday's range. Let me just hide my face so you guys can see it. There we go. Back into last week's Monday's range. Once we establish support above these highs over here, that's the breaking market structure. You can confirmation to play it back up to 75% range, back into the range. That's the plan that I'll be looking for. And the bullish play is once we get back above that consolidation, then we can say 17.5k, 17.5k, 18.2k will be an area that I'm looking for as well. So we look at it level to level. But at the mid range, if it was to be bullish, bearish, comes back down, we then what I can do is extend this. I can play two sets of trades, right? One of them is the trade back down from range low. Oh, sorry, mid range, playing it back down to 25% range, and then playing it back down to range low. That's the one play I can look at, right? We come back here. I want to see this particular. If we're going to be bullish, right? I do not want to see this low taken out, right? I mean, what we could do is something like this. We're not taking up. I don't want to see we get a smash below. What we could do is do a nuke back down. Have that's the 1, 2, 3. Maybe a spike down. I don't know, or come back up and hold above it, and then we can play back to mid range back to range high, anticipating that breakout of the play over here for the rest of December. We'll see what happens. Or what we could do is from here is come back into an area consolidation, which is around about here. About there. That's where the area I'm looking for, which is just below the mid range. Let price come back down. Once it comes back down, finds established, hold support. I'm happy to take the long there. I'll probably put a hard I think a stop loss over here. Invalidation will be here actually. That's where the invalidation is, playing back to mid range, and then we can anticipate I think a range high, and I think that's when we get the breakout. I really do think that's what's going to end up happening. If it does come into here and we find support and we don't take out this low here, we don't have a clean smash below it. Like when I say clean smash, a candle below it. As long as we don't have that, I think we're good to go for a really nuclear move on the upside. So we'll see what happens there. Play level to level, and there's nothing much more to it as well. The plan's still the same from yesterday, so there's nothing much to say. Ethereum's the same thing. We'll find resistance. I've got two sets of ranges here. Right, I'm gonna put this as one. Right, let's not confuse the two. So I'm focusing within this range here, the thick orange line there. Right, what is a thick orange line? That is the same range, the high and the low of 2 weeks ago. We've done the deviation, we've done the stop run, we take out liquidity from the downside, taking out liquidity on the upside. That's all done. That's all good. This is the mid range here. I'm not too sure. I mean, like, what's going to happen? So same thing. If it was going to play back into the mid range around here, I'm quite happy for it to go. This is the pivot we're looking at. Let me just highlight this there. Yeah, let's just put it like that, right? Yep, so this is the pivot we're looking at right here. This is the pivot that we're looking at. We can see that it's acting as resistance there. So we found support, come up higher, comes into this area, comes back down, find resistance. Now the question is, if NFP pushes back up, let it do its thing. Once we get back below, I'm happy to take the short back down to 75% range, play it back down to this area here. I'll front run the whole thing here as target 2, squeeze it into target 3, and that's it. Pretty much that, and keep it nice and simple. We are above October's low. Yes, we are below the monthly open. Not a big deal. That's the short play. The long play, right, would be literally, and the long play would be this. If we get back above, right, so what I've got here, so if you guys can see the orange line that's in thick, right, it's this weekly range here. It's this high here and this low here. We didn't take out the stops there. Does it come back down to 1072 and hold above it? I would like it to be honest, right? But I have to see what happens over the weekend, over Friday itself, how we play out. Because if we start breaking up and holding above this, right, we know as a quick day trade, I'm looking at like this quick scalp. I'm looking at 1340, which is the mid range between this high and this low here. That's what I'll be looking for. From there, if we were to be bullish, then I'll be the next secondary targets. There will be the mid range of June's range, looking to squeeze into here and see if we can take out into the highs over there. We don't know what happens. This is far fetched at the moment, really far to look ahead. But we need to time it with ES. I think we could is potential. I'm not saying you can't, but I have to wait for tomorrow. The plan hasn't changed. The plan hasn't changed. Just I have to wait for what NFP does. Nothing else really. There's nothing more to say. Just thinking now. Just want to have a look 1 hour. It's just, yeah, it really is that. I mean, one way to get on board, right, is this. Let's just say you got this high here, this there, got resistance around here. That's where we're acting as resistance. If we get a smash above, and then we hold above it, then I can happy to play above it. I mean, this is my confirmation itself. Then I can play it up into these areas here. So like stop loss would be here. I'll probably put my stop loss there. Then play it up into the upside. I mean, nah, actually, I'm gonna put my stop loss there. I'll see where the consolidation is. It'll probably be around below here. There, that's what it'll be if I'm gonna enter in here. It depends on what the price action is, right? So that's really it. Nothing else to it actually. I wish I had. Could you have a quick look at RSR? Someone wanted me to have a look at a coin yesterday. Do you know what? Which one it was again? I forgot who it was. Someone asked me about if I can have a look at something. I completely forgot which it was and who it was. If you're here, do ask again. So this was on the Thursday, the 10th, on the weekly. So look, how's the weekly looking like? Okay, so we've taken out liquidity on the upside. We're stuck. Okay, so we're stuck in this range. That's where we're stuck at. We're at the mid range. So if I were to look at it as a day trade, we're finding support at the mid range. Let's go on the 4 hours. Okay, market structure looks intact at the moment. So let's have a look. Bounce off here. Okay, cool. Let's go on the 1 hour. Right then. So how would I play RSR for a long? So number one, we've got this, right? So let's do it like that, right? So it looks like it's breaking out, right? It's a bit not so clean, not the cleanest of trend lines itself. No, it's not the cleanest of trend lines itself. I mean, really, what I would say is like this high here. That's what I want to look at for. If price, like, look, if I'm going to go along now, where am I wrong? Is here. Would I enter the trade now? Not so much. I wouldn't enter the trade just yet because we are at NFP. Like NFP is going to come around. We're going to have some volatility. What I like to do is see if price gets back above and holds above it. Then I can say, yeah, this is my confirmation to play up high. Target 1, squeeze it into target 2. Right? There's a double tops there, equal highs there. Take out the liquidity and see what happens next. That's one way of looking at it in terms of a bearish, bullish scenario. We're looking for the bearish scenario. That what I would like to see is this particular area. So we came into here. So we came into here. This, yeah, it's right here. So I want to see this area here of consolidation, right? So at the moment, what happened is this is the consolidation around the mid range. You know, this is the pivot here, this high itself. You can see that we're finding support, deviation, gets back up, deviation below, get back up. So we're not too sure exactly what's going on. Not too 100% clear. But if I want to take the shorts right, you can see this is the consolidation, break up, come at support, support, comes up, still a support. Although it takes out the lows over here, it's still a support. The moment it gets back below here and breaks below, breaks down, I'm happy to play it back down to 75% and play it back down to range low. That's what I'll be looking to do. The bullish scenario is a break above here. So it is a make or break around here, around this area for breaking market structure. So that's what NIA is. Was it FET? Was it? FET it was. Thank you so much for that. I need to let the guy know. I wish he was here. And his name was John. Is it really? Are you just saying it because it's John Caboose? I don't think it was John Caboose who said that. FET USDT. Alright, so FET. Let's have a look at that. Let's go on the weekly. Let's have a look what we're looking at. So we are stuck. Same range. Nothing. I mean, this wick over here, it's quite this is an anomaly in my opinion. So if I got this high here, this little dimensional range, this high there to this low there, you can see take out liquidity on both sides. It's not a problem. One day, it's looking at support, man. It's see like a lot of alts are looking at key levels of support itself, like on the mid range. It's holding the mid range there. I mean, it's grinding up there. FET is just a bit boring though, if you ask me. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude about the FET, but fuck, it's just like there's not much move there because it bounces here. See this, right? So let's say look at this. See this low here. You have a stop run, do a deviation of that, right? I mean, and then it's just playing within here. It's just playing within this little area range there. But I'm just showing on the weekly itself. How would I look at it this way? Let's have a look. It's just not very fucking clear. No, it's just not very clear. Okay, let's have a look. So we've broken market structure on the upside. Fucking hell. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying to you, if NFP spikes it up and come back down, it's the same thing as well. If NFT spikes it back down, comes back up, holds above here, I would like to play above to range high. Once we get above range high, play a lot higher, take out this liquidity there, and then go on the upside. That's a fucking shithole to look at, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't like this. Let me just go on. I have to go on the 4 hours because just the candles just looks really, really terrible. It's more of a longer play in my opinion. Really, that's what it comes down to. How would I play this now? Oh, that's 1 minute, 1 hour. See, when you get candles like this, I don't like looking at that. It really is annoying, that is, in my opinion. So where is acting as console? What's acting as resistance? Let's have a look. So at the moment, what's acting as resistance is here. This particular area here. That's what's acting as resistance. Can you see it? So this consolidation here comes back down, resistance, come back down, resistance, come back down, resistance, 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 resistance. And now it gets a lot more interesting now. Now it's when you draw this, right, it shows you that we were making higher highs, and all of a sudden now we're making I think lower highs. Like we can't take out this high here. So I mean, where am I wrong? I'm wrong above here. That's the invalidation there. But I'd like to place my stop loss over here, right? If I'm gonna take a short, right? Let it do its thing. Let NFP do its thing. Once we get back below here, breaks down. Oops. Let it do its thing. Once it gets back below here, breaks down. This is your confirmation to play it back down to 75% range. Squeeze it back down to the mid range. Once we lose the mid range, let's see, front run it into this area here, and then go into there, and then maybe into range low. We'll see what happens there. But I would like to actually, to be honest, what I like to see, right? If it's going to be bullish, right, and it's going to be a bullish month, I like to. Oops, let me just draw this out. Come on, man. There we go. So this area here, what I like to see, right, to be front run. Guys, 1, 2, 3. Remember this, right? So we'll talk about that later. So yeah, so if you were to play back down, let it do its thing. Once it comes back down into here, holds into here, reclaims the mid range. This is now your confirmation that yeah, the deviation of the mid range is done. Play it back to 75% range, squeeze it to range high, and we can anticipate a breakout as well. That I'll be anticipating a breakout from there itself, and this will be a really good long for me to play. Invalidation will be here once we get this play out there. That'll be invalidation playing on the upside. So that's the Hugh. It was Hugh, wasn't it? Yes. How you doing, Hugh? You good? Juma Barak Amar. How you doing, my brother? His name was not John. It was Hugh, wasn't it? What time is it now? 28. Let me squeeze in one more alt. Give me an alt. Let me squeeze in an alt, and I'm gonna head off. I've really got to bounce up. Got a dressing gown. PYR. Let's look at PYR. Everyone loves PYR, man. I wonder why. Alright, so PYR. Let's play back onto the 4 hours. Alright, so interestingly enough, right, what we had over here, if I were to hide all this, right, let's go on the daily. Daily is much more easy to read. Right, so we had a stop run over here from these lows there. Right, so that we had a stop run there. Broken market structure from these highs. So I would like to see a hold into this area here, reclaim this, then I can take out these highs there, and then we can fill out. The next area I'll be looking for will be, let's have a look, this area here. That'll be the next key area there. I'm going to bring in my ranges in just a second there. Play it up into here, hold above it. Then we can play into $3.80. If we reclaim $3.80, squeeze it into this low there. Right, fill out the inefficiency there, and we'll see what happens. That's a decent plan there. I'd be quite happy to actually enter in there. If we break above there, I'll have to enter in over here. Otherwise, we can enter over here. Whichever comes in. I've got my setups for longs as well. It is at key level there, which has come back to range line. And look at this. It's pretty much, if I were to drag this across, you can't make this up, man. That's pretty bang on though. Like even the reactionary areas at the mid range was, I drew that quite bang on. I was sick. See what happens then. So that's the play. We're getting capped at the 25% of the range. This is a weekly range between this high here and this low there. And yeah, we're getting capped in. I don't mind a pullback into these areas there because we've done a breaking market structure and come back in. It may come into this low here, from this low here. It may come into there because you can see that was a deviation. Support, we have a deviation. Come back in a support. Once we hold above it, play it back to 25% of range. Bullish market structure breaking out these highs. squeeze it into $3.76, and then we'll go to $3.92. Break above $3.92. Let's squeeze into this inefficiency into what? $4. What's the low here? $4.31, and that's it. And that's pretty much it. Woo. Okay, Mr. M. Let's have a look. CHC. Okay, let's look at CHC. I was looking at CHC with the group. I'm going to quickly just touch onto it. CHC is at range low from January's low, right? That's January's low. That's January's high. We've been consolidating in here majority throughout the year, for the whole year pretty much. This is a deviation underneath the year. We step back up. This mid range has been capping the fuck out of it every single fucking time. We keep getting capped at this particular area here. This is where we can cap right there. You can see it was perfect there, and every time we do a spike run, come back down. On the 4 hours or 1 hour, you see it break down below this here. You can just nuke it back down to range low itself. So which means that if we're going to long it, right, for like right now, where would I be wrong? I'll probably put hard stop here as a swing play. No, I'll say hard stop here, just a swing play. I mean, what's it? Let's have a look at that. Long position right here. That's not a bad move, man. About a 2-point thingy, a 2.38 move back into these areas, then mid range, and then into that high. That's not too bad. That's not a bad play. Would I actually squeeze it up? Let me see if I can squeeze this a little bit more tighter. Look at the 4 hours. Yeah, I'll definitely put the stop loss at 12 cents as a swing play. That's what I think what I would look. If you want to play in the game, how would you like to look at it as well? Is literally once we've taken out this high here, once we take out these highs there, right? Hold above it. This is your confirmation. Play it back up to 75% range, and then play it back up to mid range at 24 cents, and then I'll be looking to get into that area consolidation, which comes in around approximately. Where is it? 2 hours. Approximately here, around there. Yeah, around 27 cents. Let's go 27 cents. That's CHZ. BNB. I'm gonna get stop down this one. I brought my stops quite thingy. Now I've taken the shorts on this. I'm in profit here. I've already taken some profits already. I've taken some profits from once we take out these lows there. From these lows here, I've taken out some profits. I've entered in. I don't know if you guys saw my tweets was there, like this trend line itself it's not looking good and whatever. And I entered in here. Stop loss was up here at $305. I'm in profits at the moment. We'll see how it goes. So what's happened so far? Finding support there. I brought my stop loss to here. That's where my stop loss is at the moment there. So if we spike into here, off these lows here, starts breaking down, I'm happy to take the trade, play it back down as a swing, as a day trade. I keep a stop loss here as a quick day trade there. Once we lose this level here, and then we can come back down, fill out all this inefficiency right over here. You see these fuckers over there? Right, my head's in the way, so let me move that up. Take that motherfucker out, and let's go. Fill out the inefficiency, and then we'll see what happens. That's what's BNB for me as well. But where would I like to look for longs? Really and truly, if I were to look for longs, I want it to get back into here. So we got some pivots here. Let's just mark the pivot here. This is the pivot itself. That's the key area there. And then where's the confirmation for me to actually enter short? So somewhere like this, right here. Can you see this area here of consolidation? Right here, come back down, resistance. We'll come up, spikes it up, take out the highs, resistance, and we're bouncing off that pivot. You can see it. You can't make this shit up. Do a bit of a deviation on the pivot and whatnot, but we're bouncing off it, and then we've lost the pivot and we come back down. So I want to see this pivot hold. If it does something like this, come back down, I'm happy to take the trade. This is my confirmation to play it back down, further down into these lows, from these lows, break it down into these lows over there, and that's all it pretty much is. If I want to go long, well, I want to see price get back up. I mean, I can go long as a quick scalp trade from here. That's breaking market structure, playing it into the pivot. See how we react. As long as we hold above the pivot, play into these here, into this lower. That's an easy little trade there. Once we get back above and hold above it, then I think it's game on. We take out these highs there and we'll see what happens next. And then we go a lot more higher. That's BNB. You long FDM from 24 cents on the 5 minutes. Let's have a look. Phantom USDT. 24.44 on the 5 minutes. I wouldn't take any longs now, to be honest. Partially daily. The reason why is because it's just at NFPs coming up in it. So it's because of NFP we can get a spike down. Because you see, this is where my problem is, right? You see this particular area here, this down candle there. We haven't come back down to retest it. We still got a bit of inefficiency right here. So it's a possibility of it coming back down and hold above it and then play up. So this will give me a more of a confirmation play to play it back up higher. So I'm just not too convinced to play anything just yet. When we got 2.5 hours of volatility. In 2.5 hours, we'll have the thank you so much for that, Mr. M. Yeah, in 2.5 hours, we're gonna have the non-farm payroll. We're gonna have volatility. I don't want to trade that, man. I'm fucking sitting now. The only thing I've got is BNB, which have tightened stops just before then. If I get stopped out, I'm in profit. Then the come after NFP, let the dust settle down, and we'll see what the deal is as well. I'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna do a session. There's something in my head. What's going on? Is that my hair? That's my hair. Fucking hell, man. What the fuck? It's like, do I got a spot on my head, like on my fucking forehead? Yeah. Come after NFP. Let the dust settle. Come Monday. Yeah. Trail your stops here. Don't keep it tight. In my opinion, partial daily. Like my not professional opinion. I'm not a professional. I'm just some geezer just chatting shit here. In my opinion, I mean, I can see why you would go long, right? If it wasn't for NFP, I would definitely go long. The reason why, you see this low here. This is the low that's actually showing me that, yep, we come back down, full support. I'm happy to take a long. I mean, like, the confirmation is break above here and hold above it on the 5 minutes, right? I mean, we got this stop run over here, deviation, and this low here holds support. Bit of a deviation. It's all good there. As long as this low holds, we're good to go. It's and you can see once we take it, especially once we take out this, I think that's it. This is now your fucking game over game. I'm gonna take out these highs out on a short-term play, and then once we take out these highs, hold above it, squeeze it into here. I think front running into here is target one. That's the set of targets there, then targets there, and once we get back above it, play the next fucking game up there. So just like me like I've seen NFP for years upon years as well, for like many months. Every single month it's the same thing. It's always volatility. It's the first Friday of every month. That's when you get NFP. I know that at the back of my hand. That's how often I keep an eye on the forex calendar. Really important that you guys do use it, and it will give you a bit of a guidance of when should you actually really take a trade, or should you just wait. Forex Factory, for those who are new, smash the likes, everybody. Show some love. If you go to www.forexfactory.com/calendar, just type in Forex Factory. This is what I use on a weekly basis. On a Sunday itself, I have a look at what's going on, and I look at these red folders and see what's going on. See consumer confidence, and when we see red folders here, like especially the US dollar, we know there's going to be volatility. So I don't like to trade around that area there. I like to wait for it to happen, let the dust settle down. As a day trade, hit the day trade then. If it's a swing trade, it's a different story, right? So that's it really at the moment. Thank you so much, Mr. M. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate your time. That's it for me. I'm going to have to head out. I don't like cutting it short, but if you guys enjoy it shorter like this, let me know, and then I'll do that. I can do that going forward. So have a great weekend. It's Friday. Yeah, man, show some love. You know, phone your mom and dad, speak to your family, speak to your brothers and sisters. If you got any beef with anyone, squash the beef. It's all blessed with everyone. Life's fucking short, man, and just be blessed with everyone. Be humble, be cool, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye, everybody.